Hey guys, welcome back. This is History of Futurama Season 3, Episode 2 of my show, which is also gonna be about Episode 2. Now Episode 2 is known as War is the H word. Now, as the name of this episode states, Daniel, LA, out. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. I'm just. What am I doing? My door is open. Anyway, as the name of this episode sort of states, it has to do, in this case, with Fry and Bender being drafted for the military. Now, I'm just gonna, before I get talking about the actual storyline of the episode, I'm just gonna mention this before I continue. They actually, it's kind of funny. They don't actually want to be in the military in this episode, but I'll explain about that. But I'll explain about that when I start the episode. Now I'm gonna actually start talking about it. Anyway, basically the way this episode starts off is basically Fry and Bender are in this sort of like this futuristic version of a 7-Eleven convenience store, and they go to purchase this pack of gum, and then basically and now the gum that Fry goes to purchase is basically ham-based gum, so it's basically a gum that has a ham-like taste to it. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but that's hilarious. A ham-flavored gum. I'm sorry, but I gotta laugh about that because that's a little hilarious. A ham-flavored gum. I'm sorry. Oh my god. Anyway, then they go up to the teller and the cashier arranged this military man through, and apparently in the series, people in the military that purchase stuff from convenience stores get like a discount basically, and then basically, so after where the guy from the military leaves after purchasing stuff with his military discount, Fry goes to pay for his ham gum, but the cashier tells him it's full price, and then he says about the military discount, but then the cashier tells them that that's only for people that are in the military, and then basically Bender gets upset about that, and then basically what happens, Bender and Fry get upset about that, and then basically the cashier tells them that his policy is that if they're not 100% satisfied, he hates them and he kicks them out. So basically, that's what causes Bender and Fry to sort of pull a sort of scam on the Army Recruitment Center, because they go to the Army. The only reason they join up in the Army in this episode is so that they can purchase the ham gum with the military discount. I just wanted to get that part out of the way. So they go sign up for their military cards, and then basically, now this is actually the second time. Like I said, if you guys remember back when I did my season, I believe it was season 2 set of videos, it was the second time Fry and Bender sort of joined the military. I say second. This was the second time because the first time was back in season 2, back when the Omicronians invaded Earth because they wanted to see the final episode of Single Female Lawyer, because they didn't get a chance to see it because of technical difficulties, because of what Fry did. Oh my god. Anyway, Only this time Bender's not being affected by his robotic patriotism circuits. So they go to the Army recruitment office to get their... Anyway, they go to the Army recruitment office to get their, sign their forms, and then basically, Fry basically asks that he's, just to be clear, they can use their cards. They can sign up for the military just to get their cards so they can buy a handgun and then just quit afterwards, right? And then basically Bender says about scamming them, and then the recruiter tells them that that's correct. There is no obligation, but then he says in a dark tone like this, unless war were declared. And then war does, and then ironically at that point war does get declared. So basically they can't back out of it now because of war being declared. So basically Bender and Fry basically leave, and before they leave for the war on another planet, which ironically I'm gonna just say the name of the planet since it's gonna be brought up. It's called Planet Spearhorn 1. But anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. Anyway, Hermes tells them that he decides to basically I guess in this case temporarily fire them so that they don't have to worry about their jobs while they're gone. And I say temporary because I think it was never stated if they were actually fired in this episode. But however, the funny thing is all three of the characters, Bender, Fry, and Leela, will get fired in another episode. But that's just another episode for another storyline. I just wanted, since I brought up the fact that Bender and Fry technically got fired because they were in the military, not because they were in the military, they were sort of relieved of duties from their package delivery job so they could work, so that they could focus on being in the military without having to worry about their jobs. So, but I've just figured since this is the first of two times technically this will happen, I figured I'd mention it. Anyway, and then Leela basically goes to tell Zap that she wants to come along with them because they get into trouble without her to help them, and then basically that's when Zap tells them that she can't because there's women aren't allowed in the army, and then basically she's said that atrocious, and then Zap does agree, because in the past we fought side by side with many female troops, but because of certain incidents involving some pinching and stuff, you know, we decided in the episode that women were fit to serve, and then basically, Leela basically insults him by telling him to teach him a lesson, and that's when he mentions to Kip about what his learning disability is, or his which is, oh my god, I'm sorry, that's just so stupid, because he's essentially, he's dyslexic, but he's, oh my god, I'm sorry, I just had to get that out of the way there, my apologies about that, it's, oh my god, it's just a stupid nickname for a made-up disorder that he has. Oh my god. And the fact that he had Kip in the episode explain it, oh, that just makes it even more hilarious in a stupid way, at least. Oh my god, I'm sorry. Sorry, nose, I'm sorry, my nose got kind of itchy there, so if you saw me rubbing my nose in the video, I apologize. Anyway, basically what happens is they get on the ship, and then President And then after they get on the ship, Zap tells them to basically make their beds until they can sleep in them, and then basically he explains that they're from different, all different types of people, but he doesn't care what they are. They're aiming for a plan, and then basically, they do this basically training to get ready for the war on the planet, and that's during his training that Leela, who's disguised as a male character, but both Fry and Zap don't know that at that point, that it's actually Leela in disguise. And then afterward, what happens is, they're eating afterward with Fry and Leela in disguise are eating with Bender and like a hillbilly kind of character, and then basically the one that's like a country character asks them if he's got any special person back on Earth, and then basically Fry says that he does, and then he refers to Leela being a Cyclops, and he doesn't know that Leela's the one in disguise at this point, but it's actually gonna get revealed who she is near the end of this episode. I just wanted to get that out of the way though, and then basically, oh my god! And the funny thing with Zep is, after that, what happened was, after he saw Leela, who's disguised as a man at that point training, he asked him what his name was, and then she almost said her name, but then she said, and then stuff, and then basically, so essentially what she was saying was her name, but with the word man attached to it, to throw off the fact that she was in disguise, which in this case, in the context of this episode, I kind of understand why. Oh my god, I'm sorry, but that's still a little hilarious. Anyway, afterward, what happens is basically, the president tells them that this is the big one, which is Planet Spear 1, and then basically Zap explains that the planet is a dusty planet with no minerals or any strategic value, and then one of the soldiers asks that what is that world so what is so important about that world to die over, and then basically basically what happens is Zap says that they shouldn't be asking him because they'll be the ones doing the dying. And then basically what happens is after that, Zap tells them that the key to victory is the element of surprise, and he says surprise and then presses the button which causes them to fall onto the ground where the planet is. And then basically, the type of guns that they have in this, for this war segment in the episode are called positron shooters, which basically are wind-up blaster guns, and then basically, oh my god, I'm sorry, but that's just hilarious. I get it because it's a future series, so it has to be a laser-based weapon. Oh my god, but still, a positron shooter that you have to, a laser weapon that you had to basically turn the crank in order to use. Oh my god, that's hilarious. Oh my god, I'm sorry. And then basically after they end up on the field. Basically, one of the soldiers is saying that this is the worst part to come before the battle, and then basically, Fry says then maybe that after that the battle's not bad, but then the other one mentions that that's what. Oh, that's right. He forgot about the battle part. And then basically, what happens is these round, pink spear-like things, which are basically round ball-like things, show up. Oh, because the planet they're on is called Planet Spearon 1. So basically, the inhabitants are all spear-like creatures. So they start blasting it, and but because of the fact that you have to wind the positron shooters up after using it once, while they're fighting, Fry basically is cowering because the country soldier is telling them to cover them because he's got the only wound up positron shooter. But then basically what happens is Fry gets scared by it and starts hiding in a hole, and then basically the soldier that was telling Fry to cover it is like, "Fry, you emu-bellied coward!" And then there's this bomb that shows up, and then Bender basically decides to sacrifice himself for the mission to save it from it. But Fry doesn't want him to, and then Bender says that if they put me on a stamp, tell them to use the young Bender. And then the explosion goes off, and then basically what happens is after that, they're all taking the soldiers to the medical wing to get treated, and then basically Zoidberg is along with them because he's sort of the doctor for the military in this segment of the episode, and oh my god, oh, I'm sorry. Anyway, hold on, I'm okay. I can do this stuff, and then I'll continue the video afterward. Don't worry.
Sure.
It's actually good timing because I was wondering when I was going to be getting my pills. Sorry about this. Just hold on a second. I'll get back to the video in a sec. I just got to take my pills and stuff, and there we go. Okay, again, sorry.
About that.
Yeah, sorry if you guys saw that in the video. I was just taking my meds and stuff and getting mineral oil put in my ears. So if you saw that in the video, I completely apologize. But anyway, after Zap commends Bender for his brave action for what he did, he said that he'd be melted down and stuff, and then basically, then Zap goes to confronts Fry, and then basically he's telling Kif, "Look at this man, Kif. While others were fighting and dying pointlessly, he was wallowing in a hole because of his own cowardice." And then basically Fry says that wasn't cowardice, and then basically because of that, Zap demotes Fry, and then he basically asks Kip what the lowest position is, and then Kip says that it's being his assistant, but then Zap tells him he's wrong because it's not anyone being his assistant, it's anyone being Kip's assistant. And then basically, Fry, Zap tells Fry that he's now has to take orders from Kip, and then basically after that, Kip sort of tells him to starts bossing around, like, sort of not really abusing his power, but basically because Fry is below him because of Zap demoting him to a rank below Kip's level to make him his assistant. Anyway, which I will admit does cause a little bit of funny yelling banter between them. I just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyway, what happens after that is, President Nixon in the episode goes to talk to Bender about how bad this war is getting, and it's costing too many good soldiers, and that's why he's sending him on one last mission. And then Bender basically is ecstatic about it because he thinks it's a mission with plastic, but Nixon tells him that it's a mission of peace. And so Bender gets annoyed by that. So basically, they're to broker a peace treaty between them and the rulers of the Spear on One planet, which are known as the Brain Balls. Oh my god, which... because they're basically giant brains in these round spherical orbs. Sort of... And that's actually... The giant brain thing is actually gonna take... is gonna happen in the... in another segment of episodes in this series, in this season, but I'm not gonna explain which one until I get to that one. I just wanted to bring it up since I mentioned it. And then, basically, Bender basically goes with Henry Kissinger to be the negotiation, for the peace treaty between them, and then basically, after that, Zap basically afterward is in the shower, and then basically that's when, after he gets out of the shower, and then that's when Nixon shows up and he's like, "Brannigan, my god, man, cover yourself. I didn't live 1,000 years and double 1,000 light years just to see another man's gizmo," which is, oh my god, I'm sorry, but this is an adult-based TV show I'm talking about, so there's gonna be some, but it's funny in an adult humor kind of way. And then basically, after that, basically, that's when Nixon tells Zap to activate the bomb, and that's when Leela, who's disguised still at this point, hears about the bomb, and she's wondering what the bomb is, and then Zap explains that it's the bomb that they had the nurses implant in that gullible bending robot. And then basically what happens is, after Zap inspects Leela's disguise again, basically, Nixon tells Zap, inspect the troops later. It's time to activate the bomb. So he presses the button to get the bomb activated, and at this point, Bender still doesn't know that he has the bomb in him. So when it gets activated, he thinks he came down with something, like he got a cold or something, and then he says, "Excuse me," and then in the next scene, the soldiers are retreating the planet, and the guy doing the PA announcements said that they need to evacuate the planet immediately. And this is the funny part. He says, "No, and not just because it's Meatloaf Night." Oh my god. And then basically what happens is, afterward, when they go to leave the planet, Lilu's still disguised at this point, but her disguise is gonna be, her identity is gonna be revealed afterward, when she and Fry go to save Bender from the bomb that Zap and the others implanted in him. and then they're wondering when the bomb's gonna detonate, and then then Zap tells them that the bomb is voice activated, and it'll only go off once the robot utters one specific word. And they got the word from his top 10 list of his most frequently used words, and then after going through the top 10 for those words, basically, when he gets to the number one word, Zap's like, and the Bender's number one most commonly uttered word, the word, if uttered, will blow this entire planet to smithereens, is ass. And then when Fry sees that it's the word ass, he's like, oh, we don't have long, because normally under normal circumstances, Bender says the word ass so many times in this series, so in context, it makes sense for Fry to say that they don't have long, because they don't know when he's gonna say it to trigger the bomb, so because it's voice activated. Oh my god, I'm sorry. And then basically what happens is, Bender is basically with Henry Kissinger to basically broker that thing, and then after the peace treaty between the Rainbows and them, but he still doesn't know that the voice-activated bomb that's inside of him has been activated. He did feel it be activated for a short time, but I'm guessing he sort of forgot about it. And then Leela manages to restrain Zap after revealing her identity to him and after beating him up. And then he and Fry go to save Bender, and then basically afterward, Bender gets annoyed with the brain balls because of them keep mentioning about bouncing over and over again, so it's got on his nerves to the point where he had enough, and he's like, before I go, he's like, and then he's like, enough of this crap. I'm taking the next pimp mobile out of here. But before I go, let me just say one thing. But, and then he starts saying it, he's like, but my shiny metal, and then basically Fry stops him from saying it so that he doesn't activate the bomb to blow the planet up, but then Bender basically still doesn't know about the bomb. He's like, up yours, chump! I already said it like 5 times already! But that's when Fry mentions to Bender that if he says the A word, he'll blow this place straight to the H word, which in this case is the word. So if he says the word ass, he'll blow this place straight to. I'm sorry, I just because A word, H word kind of thing. Oh my god, that's the part of it I find hilarious. And then basically when Kissinger sees about the bomb, he's telling Fry that he's got the bravery of a hero and breakfast fresh as a summer ham. But then Bender starts laughing, and then after he's laughing, Kissinger wonders why he's laughing, and then Bender's like, I'm in charge now! The name of the game is Make Bender Happy, or he says the word that blows up the planet. And he basically says that he'd rather die and take everyone with him right now, rather than to just stand around named to the brain balls mention one more thing about bouncing, but then basically that's when one of the brain balls is like, please stay calm, there is no need to bounce off the handle. And that's when Bender feels he's had enough, and he's like, that's it, I'm saying it, and he starts saying it, bite my shiny metal, and then the brain balls are stopping him from saying it, and one of the ones stops him, and he says that the war is over, they've won, their home planet is theirs. And then Fry gets ecstatic about that, but then he realizes that this is the Spearon one is the Brain home planet. They're the ones that are the invaders, basically. Oh my god! So basically, they say that, and it is correct. And then basically, Bender mentions that he gets that they learn a lesson. Don't mess with Earth. And then afterward, he tells them to get off his planet, and then basically in the newspaper it shows that the war is over, and then basically that's basically where this episode stops. So if and that's basically where this episode stops, because that's a lot of the major points of this episode. And then basically, like I said, that's where this episode stops. So if you guys like this video when I post it, just please give this video the real best you guys can. And I will see you guys probably, I think, probably Thursday for the next video. So until Thursday, guys, just please give this video the real best you guys can, and I'll see you Thursday for the second video for this week. But until then, like I always tell you with this series, fun on a bun.